Okay, so some of my students who've been using the rubbish but somewhat useful videos I made about Baker's magic sheet just said to me, Alaric, why don't you do a video where you're reading out the magic sheet? And you might be like, why would someone want to do that? But the idea is that students who want to learn to just recite these paradigms just want to learn to do it with decent pronunciation. And so yeah, they thought it might be useful if I sat here and read out the magic sheet. Since I recorded the videos that go with this one, Baker's changed the words on the magic sheet, so I'm using the new magic sheet, and hopefully the videos are still useful even though the words on it are wrong. When I'm reading these out, Baker sometimes puts, say, the nominative and the accusative together on a line because they're always the same, for example. But I'm in the habit of kind of saying the nominative and the accusative separately, so I'll be doing that. And likewise with, say, first and third person singular verbs, I'll just sort of say the whole paradigm. And hopefully not make too many mistakes. This is my third take of this because I'm just back from Iceland, and you know, they're close enough that they're almost the same, but they're different enough that I have to keep stopping the video and trying to get it right. Okay. So let's start with the nouns, and we'll start with the strong masculine nouns with stan. Stan, stan, stanus, stana, stanas, stanas, stana, stanum. Okay? And the strong neuter nouns, we'll start with the short stem. Ship, ship, shippes, shipper, shipple, shipple, shipper, shippum. Okay, and then the neuter nouns with the long stem. Thing, thing, thingus, thinger, thing, thing, thinger, thingum. Okay, and now for the feminine strong nouns, starting with the short stem. Yuvu, yuva, 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 yuvum. And with the long stem, sorg, sorga, 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 sorgum. Now for the weak nouns, masculine first. Nama, naman, 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 namena, namum. Okay. Neuter weak nouns. Aga, aga, agan, 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 agana, agum. And the feminine weak nouns. Tunga, tungan, 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 tungana, tungum. Finally, the U stem and athematic one. So here's the U stem. Sunu, sunu, suna, 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 sunum. And the athematic. Man, man, manness, men, 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 manna, mannum. Okay, there are the nouns. Now let's go for the adjectives, and we'll start with masculine adjectives, straightforward. What, whatna, whatis, whatum, whata, and that's the instrumental. Whata, whata, whatra, whatum. So, yeah, hopefully you're okay that I've done the instrumental for the masculine one. I'll just do it again to make sure. What, whatna, whatis, whatum, whata, 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 whatra, whatum. Okay, that was your masculine endings. Now for the short, strong, neuter endings, and again we're going to have the instrumental in here. What, what, whatis, whatum, whata, whatu, whatu, whatra, whatum. Okay. Now for the long-stemmed neuter adjectives. Gord, gord, gordus, gordum, gorda, gord, gord, gordra, gordum. Okay. And strong feminine with the short stem. Huatu, huata, huatra, huatra. No instrumental because it's the same as a dative. Huata, huata, huatra, huatum. Or in the plural it could be huata, huata, huatra, huatum. And feminine long stemmed, again no instrumental because the dative's the same as the instrumental. Gord, gorda, gordra, gordra. Nothing for the instrumental. Gorda, gorda, gordra, gordum. Or in the plural, gorda, gorda, gordra, gordum. And now for the weak adjectives, masculine first. Gorda, gordan, 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 gordra, gordum. Or the plural could have been gordan, gordan, gordra, gordan, gordan, gordena, gordum. Sorry, hopefully that made sense because you've got the variant genitive plural, either gordra or gordena. All right, weak adjectives. I'll just do the singular. Gorda, gorda, gordan, gordan. And the plural would follow. Likewise for the feminine. Gorda, gordan, 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 and then the plural. Okay, so that's nouns and adjectives. Let's do the interrogative pronouns since they are next on the magic sheet. So for masculine and feminine, the paradigm goes hua, huana, huas, huam, hui. Or there are some variants as well. I'll do it with the second variant now. So masculine and feminine again. Hua, huana, huas, huam, huon. And now for the neuter interrogative pronouns. And again, there are variants, but you can look at the magic sheet and see which you prefer. Huat, huat, huas, huam, hui. Okay? And now it's time for demonstrative pronouns. Let's do demonstrative pronouns. So we'll have the masculine word for the or that. Se, thona, thas, tham, thu. Tha, tha, thara, tham. And yeah, no, it's instrumental plural. I'll do that again for the masculine, but with the second variant given by Baker this time. Se, thona, thas, tham, thon, tha, tha, thara, tham. And when I learned this, I mean, I just learnt the first of the variants when I was learning Old English, and then you just kind of get the other one in your head as, oh, that weird thing that it sometimes looks like. You know, that works pretty well for me, hopefully for you. Let's do the this word. So, oh no, I've got to do the neuters first. Sorry, neuter demonstrative pronoun. So the neuter that word. That, that, thas, tham, thu. Tha, tha, thara, tham. So much the same as the masculine, but just a bit different at the beginning. And likewise for the feminine. Seo, tha, thara, thara, tha, tha, thara, tham. And again, you know, there were possible variants for the plural, but hopefully you can look at the sheet and you can see what I'm doing. All right, personal pronouns. No, the this word, this. Okay, masculine first. Thes, thisna, thissis, thissum, thus. Thas, thas, thissa, thissum. No instrumental in the plural. In the neuter, this, thissis, thissum, thus. Thas, thas, thissa, thissum. Nothing in the instrumental plural. And now for the feminines, no instrumental of any kind, singular or plural this time. Theos, thas, thissa, thisra. Thas, thassa, thissum. And again, there's variation. So in fact, I gave both variants for the genitive and the dative. Thissa and thisra could equally have gone theos, thas, thissa, thissa, or theos, thas, thisra, thisra. All right. Personal pronouns, starting with I. Ich, me, min, me. Thu, the, thin, the. Or we could do that, but going across the paradigm might make more sense, in which case I'll do I, and then I'll do us when it's two of us, and then I'll do we when it's actually plural. Ich, me, min, me. Wit, unk, unker, unk. We, us, ura, us. Okay, now let's do that for the second person. So you. Thu, the, thin, the. Yit, ink, inker, ink. Ye, eo, eower, eo. Is it ink or inch, incher or inker? We're really not sure. We don't know quite if palatalization happened there, and if it did, whether it kind of was removed again from the pronunciation by analogy. But anyway, you've got a kind of straightforward, workable pronunciation there. And now let's do he, it, and she. So we're going back to just straightforwardly going down through singular, nominative, accusative, genitive, dative, and then plural, nominative, accusative, genitive, dative. He, hinna, his, him. Hu, hira, him. And in the neuter, hit, his, him. Hu, hira, him. And for the feminines, heo, hu, hira, hu, hira, him. Cool. And now verb time. And we'll go down the column, and we'll start with the example of the strong verb, which is helpan. And I'll just do the infinitive, inflected infinitive, past participle, and present participle and past participle first, and then we'll pause. So helpan, tor helpanna, helpenda, holpen. Okay, now for the present tense. Helpa, hilpst, hilpth, helpath. And now for the subjunctive singular in the present. Helper, the subjunctive plural, helpen, and the imperative singular, help. Maybe I'll do that with some pronouns. Ich helper, thu hilpst, he hilpth, and then where or ye or tha helpath. And ich, thu or he helper, and where ye or tha helpen. Okay, and now for the past. And so Baker lists the first and third persons together, but I'll separate them out. So ich help, thu hulpa, he help, and then we or ye or tha hulpon. And in the singular, ich or thu or he hulpa, and in the plural, the subjunctive plural, we or ye or tha hulpen. Right, let's do that for the weak verbs class 1 with the short stems. So let's just have the infinitive and stuff first. Fremman, tor fremmanna, fremmenda, fremmed. And now for the present tense. Ich fremme, thu fremest, he fremeth. And in the plural, we or ye or tha fremmath. And in the subjunctive singular, ich or thu or he or heo, whatever, fremma. And in the plural, we or ye or tha fremmen. And the imperative singular would be fremma. Okay? And in the past tense, ich fremmede, thu fremmedest, he fremmede, and we or ye or tha fremmedon. In the subjunctive singular, ich or thu or he fremmede, and in the subjunctive plural, we or ye or tha fremmeden. Okay? So weak verbs class 1 with a long stem, infinitive and stuff first. Halan, tor halanna, halende, haled. And now in the present tense. Ich hale, thu halst, he halth. And in the plural, we or ye or tha halath. In the subjunctive singular, ich or whoever, hale, and we or whoever, halen. In the imperative, hal. Okay, I might be starting to lose the plot. In the past tense, ich halde, thu haldest, he halde. In the plural, we or ye or tha haldon. And in the subjunctive singular, ich halde, and in the subjunctive plural, we halden. Alright? Weak verbs class 2, my favourite by the way. We'll do the infinitives and stuff first. Luvian, tor luvianna, luvienda, luvod. And in the present, starting with the first singular, as you might expect, ich luvia, thu luvast, he luvath. And in the plural, we luviath. And in the subjunctive singular, ich luvia, and in the subjunctive plural, we luvien. And in the imperative singular, luva. And the past tense, ich luvoda, thu luvodest, he luvoda, we or whoever luvodon. And in the subjunctive, ich luvoda, and in the subjunctive plural, we luveden, we luveden, luvoden. Sorry, I couldn't decide whether I was doing really late Old English pronunciation or I suspiciously influenced by modern English or quite early Old English pronunciation. We luvoden. There you go, a sensible medium. And for the preterite present verbs, we have in the infinitive, etc., witan, tor witanna, and witenda, and they don't have a past participle, so that's better. And then for the present, ich wart, thu warst, he wart, and we witon. In the subjunctive singular, ich witter, and in the subjunctive plural, we witten. And in the imperative singular, witter, which is very appropriate to this particular paradigm, or exercise of reading out paradigms. And in the past tense, we have ich wisse, thu wistest, and he wisse, and in the plural, we wisson. In the subjunctive singular, we have ich wisse, and in the subjunctive plural, we wissen. Or there's the variant ending, so ich wiste, thu wistest, he wiste, we wiston, and in the subjunctive, ich wiste and we wisten. Okay, finally the verb to be. First, wesan, it's more kind of temporary form, or the form that denotes more temporary states of being. Infinitives first, only a couple this time. Wesan and wesender. And then we have ich eom, thu ert, he is, and we, ye, tha, all them people sinned on, or just we, the, tha. Sorry, we, ye, tha, sinned. Okay, in the subjunctive singular, ich, sy, and we, syn. And in the imperative, wes. And now, so I can't help enjoying doing those imperatives. I hope you're enjoying doing them too. Alright, in the past, we have ich was, thu wara, ich was, and we, ye, tha, waron. In the subjunctive, ich wara, and in the subjunctive plural, we waren. Okay, I'm not going to read out the classes of strong verbs because I really find it much more helpful to just think of strong verbs as irregular, and I don't recommend that people learn that chunk of the paradigm. Baker might, fair enough. And yeah, it's been quite an interesting exercise actually. I've noticed how with final E, I tend to, or unstressed E generally, I vary between which is probably how it would have been pronounced kind of early in the Old English period, and just which is probably how it's being pronounced later in the Old English period. So is it going to be ich fremme or ich fremme? Could be either, and I imagine there's plenty of variation within Old English. Ich fremme, ich fremme. Don't mind. Otherwise, I think I'm fairly happy with how that went, and I'm certainly not doing any more just now. All right, bye, internet people. Have fun with Old English.